Hey guys, it's Coach Ray Ann back with another episode of the Balanced Fit and Free podcast. I got to tell you, today was actually supposed to be an interview, but some things happened and it didn't work out. So I'm just going to do a super quick episode for you today. I wasn't really sure what I wanted it to be about because I have my other, episodes coming up focused on different topics. So I decided, just last night I was thinking about all of the things that drive me crazy about the wellness industry. And so I thought, you know what, let's talk a little bit about that today. I was thinking about, all the things that make me mad. And the thing that makes me the most mad is watching coaches, dietitians, trainers, gyms, programs, doctors, whoever, influencers talk about how their way is the only way. So one program says it's all about your diet, no need to exercise. Another program says it's all about fitness, don't worry about what you eat. Another program says, hey, just take this shot and forget the rest. You're good. We got the magic bullet. Another says, no, just take supplements and herbs, drink this tea, and you're going to be fixed for good. And this all makes me crazy because the sooner you realize wellness isn't just one thing, the sooner you'll actually be on your way to your most balanced, fit, and free life. Wellness is kind of like a puzzle, right? A puzzle, you get the box of the puzzle, you open it, and there's like, whatever, 500 pieces, 1,000 pieces, a million pieces, whatever you like. And they're everywhere. They're all different colors, different shapes. Some are edges, some are middle, some, have two prongs. One has I don't even know what you call them. Anyway, you get the point. Wellness is kind of like that. There's multiple pieces. Sometimes the pieces go missing, or sometimes the pieces don't quit fit just right. So you have to like move it and try it a different way. And that's all okay. But the key is knowing how and when to adjust, shift, and rebuild your puzzle. So recently, as you know, I've been talking about inner wellness a lot. I believe so deeply to the bottom of my heart that without inner wellness and inner peace, it's going to be extra hard to put all the pieces of the puzzle together. But I also know and believe that each puzzle piece is critical. Without the edges of the puzzle, right, you're not going to have a frame or structure. Without the middle pieces, it's not going to make sense or complete the picture. So each piece is key in the whole scheme of things, in the whole wellness picture, in the whole puzzle. So let's talk about wellness pieces. Like, what are the wellness pieces? Well, there's nutrition. It's like what you eat. There's exercise and movement, like how you move, how much you move, when you move, where you move, that kind of thing. Then there's social and fun. Okay. Social and fun gets forgotten a lot. That is a huge part of our wellness puzzle. Also, relationships, how happy you are or not in your relationships directly impacts the wellness picture. Money and career, whether you have a lot of money or little money, there's going to be issues either way. And so figuring out how to manage your money and how to feel good about it, that's super part of your wellness too. People who are struggling financially have a harder time with their wellness, have a harder time with resources, have a harder time, doing what they need to do. And then this also impacts your career, whether you're happy or not in your career, whether that's an actual career outside of the home, or maybe your career is being a stay-at-home mom. If you're not happy or aligned with it, that's going to directly impact your health and your whole wellness puzzle. And then finally, stress management and sleep. Without managing our stress, without getting enough sleep, all of the rest can totally fall apart. In fact, I would say sleep and stress management might be the most overlooked piece of the puzzle. And maybe I'm wrong about that, but I feel like in the people I've met, when they've actually added that into their puzzle pieces and tried to create their whole puzzle, the stress management and the sleep were critical in their results. Okay. So I have to tell you that it's very difficult to watch people that I love, family, friends, it's really hard to watch them seek the perfect diet or seek the perfect fitness plan or the perfect medication or the perfect supplement while they are not focusing on the other areas. It's especially hard when they don't want my help. It's very frustrating. But I realize, everybody has to come to the realization themselves that, you know, every piece does matter. But the people who figure it out sooner, faster, are the ones who tend to have the most fulfilled and longer life. Unfortunately, it just takes some people a lot longer than others to realize that there is no perfect plan. There is no magic bullet. And I just want to pop in really quick about this. With the new GLP-1, semaglutide, Ozempic, step-bound kind of medication, they actually do seem like a magic potion. I mean, it's very tempting, to want to take that medication because it really does check so many boxes, like A1C, like diabetic, stuff, blood sugars. It helps with weight loss. It helps with hormone balance. It helps with a lot of things. So actually, it checks so many boxes that you can see why many people do think it's the magic pill, do think it's the answer to all. But what you still need to know about that is that you still need to be working on the other areas, the other puzzle pieces to wellness, so that you can actually see results from the medication and continue to keep or maintain the benefits of the medication. Okay. So the goal of all of this isn't perfection. Instead, it's about creating a sustainable, adaptable picture of well being. Okay. So I have a quick story. And I apologize if I've told this story. I was thinking about it. I mean, maybe I have told it, but anyway, I'm going to tell you again, even if I did, because I loved this story. I have a client who, it may have been, I'm trying to think when it was, maybe a year ago. She got super, super motivated and decided she really wanted to lose weight. Like she was frustrated. She had gained weight. She had never been this weight before. She had never felt this uncomfortable in her clothes. She was like, you know what? I'm doing it. I'm gonna pay the money. I'm gonna go to a weight loss clinic that she'd been hearing about on the radio. And so she goes to the weight loss clinic. And of course, this is before she came to me. Actually, she'd been a member at my fitness studio years ago, kind of lost track of each other. And then she did this, she went to this clinic, and then she contacted me after, which I'll tell you in a minute. Anyway, she told me that she was just totally fed up with this extra weight. And she wasn't really sure why she was gaining weight. And then she found out, to her surprise, it was actually perimenopause. Menopause is such a tough time for women. And she really had little information about it from her mother. She just really, it wasn't something that she like learned a lot about. And we're finding that most women really don't know. And our mothers, if you're my age or younger, well, my age, or maybe a little bit older, our mothers didn't really talk about menopause, and we all wondered why they got really bitchy and grumpy. But they didn't really talk about it that much. So there's so many of us that didn't understand. And fortunately, now there's a lot of information. Okay, I'm getting off track here. Anyway, she'd gained this weight. She was determined to lose it. And guess what? She did it. She did it. She followed the plan of the clinic. It was extremely dangerously, in my opinion, low calorie, like 800 calories a day. Okay, this is for a grown woman. Just want you to know that. And she also took a shot weekly. Okay. It was either a shot, I think it was a shot or a dropper. I can't remember, to be honest. But anyway, she was not allowed to exercise because the calories were too low, which I appreciate the company saying that. I appreciate that they recognized it was so extremely low calorie, they didn't want them exercising, but you know how I feel about that. But anyway, guess what happened? She lost, I think, about 25 pounds pretty quickly. I think in 8 weeks or something, which sounds like so amazing. In fact, if you're listening to this and you're like, I just want to lose 25 pounds. Oh, what is this? What is this? Hold on. Hold on for the rest of the story. Anyway, it was about 25 pounds that she lost. But what she gained is what I would call disordered eating. Okay. Because on this plan, they also had her fast. So she was eating in the window of like 12 to, I think, to 6 or 7 p.m. And so she was on extremely low diet. But the reason they have them fast is because it shortens the window of eating, which makes it more manageable to only eat 800 calories. It may have been 500. I may not be right about that number of calories, but it's too low for any human. Okay, anyway, so she was so used to this like low calorie diet. She was fasting. And so what happened was she lost the weight, but the dieting and the restriction actually ended up making her feel worse. She was super excited about seeing the scale number go down, but she had no energy. She felt actually saggy, those are her words, and she was scared to eat after she stopped the program. So when she came to me, she said, I just want to feel healthy again. So we started really slowly, adding back some nutrients, adding back nutrition, calories, food, fuel to her body. Her body was starved. So we started working on her inner voices as well. Okay, it wasn't just about the food because at this point, as I just told you, she had some disordered eating. She was scared to eat. She wasn't sure what to eat. She didn't believe anything anymore because all the information was putting her in so many different directions. And she knew she couldn't keep doing the plan. In fact, she was done with the plan. So, anyway, so we started adding a little bit more food to her plate, to her whole day. We started working on those inner voices that were making her scared to eat. We added back exercise 3 days a week. That's all, 3 days a week, 25 minutes of weight training, just so she could start gaining back some of the muscle that she had lost during the weight loss phase. Essentially, we pulled back all the pieces of the puzzle. We laid them out all in front of her. And then she took her time with the pieces that felt the best to her. Okay. I didn't force her to eat more. I didn't force her to exercise. I didn't force her to listen to her inner voices. It was like, what did she feel capable of doing? What did it, what felt best to her? So she added each habit or puzzle piece one at a time. Now, fast forward 6 to 9 months later, and she's not afraid to eat anymore. In fact, she appreciates food and how it fuels her body. She is consistently lifting weights 3 days a week. She goes to yoga once a week and she's walking. She's sleeping soundly and she's healing relationships in her life. So, this is a wonderful example of how to put the pieces of the puzzle together. Okay. But here's the thing, if this sounds great to you, you have to be willing to let go of the all or nothing mentality. You have to be willing to not be perfect, and you have to be willing to get help. This kind of situation is very hard to do on your own. And you don't have to do it with me. Just please get some support. And that's actually one of my tips coming up. I'm going to give you 5 tips, and I already told you one, but we'll get there again. So, anyway, 5 tips to put the pieces together. All right, number one, it's really important to identify your core pieces. So, what truly matters to you in wellness? What areas make the biggest difference in how you feel and function? It can be tough to focus on every single aspect every single day. We are humans, we are not perfect. There are times it's not easy to do it all, okay? And that's okay. There are times or seasons in your life where wanting maybe to lose weight may be super important to you, just like my client. And then there are seasons in your life where your family may be more important and you aren't as focused on losing weight. There are also seasons in your life where your deep health may be the focus. And what I mean by that is maybe it's important that you get rid of inflammation, or maybe you need to correct a gut health, problem like some bug or something you have in your gut. Or there may be seasons in your life where you're really excited about fitness. Maybe you want to train for a race or an event or get fit for an active vacation. No matter what, you're going to have some key areas in your life that are taking priority. The idea would be to find a way to balance between them all. Okay, so tip number one is identify what's important to you. What pieces, I'll say it this way, what pieces are like already like moving for you? What pieces do you got going? Like maybe you love to work out and that's great. Maybe like you already sleep well. Maybe you have a great relationship. Maybe you already have a lot of good things going, but there's certain pieces that you need to work on. And that's what I mean. Like select the core pieces that you really want to focus on. Because I guarantee, I just want to say this too, that you're already doing a lot of things right. Okay. You don't have to be perfect. And I bet you're already doing so many things exactly the way you need to be doing them for you. But it might be one or two little pieces that are like messing up the whole picture, the whole puzzle. Okay. Second tip is embrace flexibility. Okay. And you got to embrace flexibility. So in my previous tip, I was talking about your core pieces changing, based on your goals. Like maybe for a few months you're interested in losing weight, or maybe you're training for an event, whatever. That's like based on your goals and what you want. And this tip, what I'm referring to is when things are out of your control. Okay, you have to embrace flexibility. How can you adjust your expectations and find a new balance when life shifts? So, as you know, if you've been listening, recently I just hurt my back. So, guess what I had to do? I had to shift. I had to shift my focus from, working out and pushing myself, which I love to do. I had to shift it to healing. I had to shift it to resting. I had to make that, you know, stress management and healing and recovery piece, I needed to put it to the top of the priorities. Okay. When I got Hashimoto's, oh man, did I have to shift? I had to take out a bunch of foods that were bothering me. I had to completely revamp my entire business and my exercise routine, and a lot of things in my life completely changed. I had to shift. I had to be flexible. When I got my pacemaker, that was another shift I had to make. I had to change the way I thought about my cardio workouts. I had to change my priorities around fitness. I had to change my expectations. So life is always going to change. So being flexible is really, really important. My third tip is to check in regularly. Self reflection and awareness help you course correct before you feel completely lost. I feel like many people spend so much time living their life for other people that they forget to check in on themselves. And then all of a sudden, they realize that they were way over here when they wanted to be over here. So, when you can keep a commitment to check on yourself regularly, then you'll be able to catch the shifts and the changes so that you can take the necessary actions. Just kind of keeping a pulse on what's happening in your life. And unfortunately, a lot of parents, a lot of people do it, but women especially are, I was gonna say, the worst about taking care of themselves because they're so concerned about taking care of everybody else. And I'm in that boat too. It's probably why I ended up with Hashimoto's, probably why, some things happened because I was so worried about showing up for everybody that I didn't listen to my body. So, checking in regularly, like as in daily, maybe, check in, like, how are you feeling? And I don't even mean like physically, I mean like mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Are you burned out? Are you overwhelmed? Are you like out of touch with your spouse? Like, what's going on? Check in with yourself regularly. You could do this by journaling, meditating, whatever you need. All right. Tip number 4 is give yourself some grace when pieces go missing. Okay, there's nothing worse than when you're doing a puzzle, right? You got this whole puzzle out, you got 999 pieces, and you go to put the last piece, it's missing. It's so frustrating. So it can make you just so like frustrated and mad, right? Well, this can kind of happen in life too. You're going to have seasons where things just fall apart, right? It's normal. Instead of guilt, focus on small steps to get back on track. Okay. I'm working with several ladies right now that are in that sandwich generation. They have kids to take care of and now they have parents to take care of. This can feel like your whole world is imploding on you. But if you can just step back and look at the bigger picture, it can help you relax and know that you're doing the best you can. Okay. Just like with the puzzle piece missing, it's like you still have almost the entire thing done. Like you're not going to like tear it all up and throw it away just because you are missing the one little piece. I mean, I might want to sometimes, but you wouldn't do that, right? All that work and just throw it away. That seems silly. So the same with your life. Take a breath and remember to pat yourself on the back and keep going because this too shall pass. There's always going to be a season, something happen in your life that is not great. And you're going to totally feel like you're like missing the whole point, but this too shall pass. All right. And then tip number 5, I already told it to you earlier, but ask for help when needed. Community and support absolutely matter. We humans are meant to be in groups, we're meant to be in community. So, who can you lean on when you need help finding a missing piece? Is it your spouse, your partner, your best friend, your sister, your brother, a gym friend, a coach, a mentor, your doctor? Who do you have in your life that can support you through your changes and shifts and guide you back to putting together your whole puzzle? Who can gently point you in the right direction or hand you the missing puzzle piece? Okay. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Okay. Don't be afraid to reach out to a friend. Don't be afraid to admit you need help. That is another big mistake I see people, doing is they're afraid to look weak or they're afraid to, look like they can't handle it all. And that is getting you nowhere. And also, don't be afraid to invest in your health. People invest in beautiful cars, houses, purses, jewelry, but they won't spend money on a coaching program because it's too expensive. It's ridiculous because your health and your wellness is worth a lot more than that beautiful bag that you just had to have. Okay, just saying. And this includes like going to the doctor. It includes, taking supplements. It includes like spending money on improving your health, no matter how you do it. All right, so remember to think of wellness as a puzzle. Sometimes it's messy and all over the place. Sometimes it's incomplete and you have to come back to it later. Sometimes the pieces are actually missing, or maybe they're just under the box right in front of you, right? But no matter what, you can always rebuild. Every single day is an opportunity to rebuild, an opportunity to take your puzzle seriously, okay? So, which piece of your wellness puzzle needs attention right now? I want you to think on that. Like, take this whole concept of putting your puzzle together and think about what is going well already. What areas do you need help with? And maybe not like from me or like from somebody, but what areas do you need to work on? Can really think about it. Okay, so if you would like some extra support, right now I am opening up still membership spots in the BFF membership, the Balanced Fit and Free membership. You get 3 live workouts a week. And if you don't show up for the live workouts, then you get the replay. We also do 1 meeting a month where I am going to teach you something fitness or anything from the wellness puzzle. We'll give you a little information and a breathwork session. So it is an amazing group. We have so much fun, and I would love for you to be a part of it. So you can just click the link in the show notes if you're interested. And remember, you always get half off your first month. So that offer is still available. All right, you guys, no matter where you are today, you can always find the next piece. And I will catch you next week. Bye.